I get this email from my brother. That email was the most manipulative load of horseshit that I've ever heard in my life. Okay. I forgot to explain prior to showing you guys these emails that normally what would have happened was my aunts would have filed their petition, and my brother's attorney reached out to me to sign a waiver of consent, which was basically to just, say, yeah, I'm cool with them being the executors, and then we would all just kind of move on with life, and my aunts would be the executors. I was actually surprised that my brother had signed this waiver, but I feel like either way, him and Satan would have been controlling the estate, because I don't really think my aunts really wanted to be involved, but it was easier than them, fighting it. Basically, what I did is I threw a monkey wrench in their plan, and I threw that objection in. Did I think that we were going to win with what we had? No, but as you'll see, it was kind of just used as a tactic to scare them. So I kind of felt like I was backed into a corner, and I had no choice but to file this objection. Now, was I planning on taking this objection all the way and fighting them and litigating this for thousands and thousands of dollars in court? No. But there really wasn't much that we had on them, except for the fact that they were using the same attorney and nobody had ever discussed it with me, which was a conflict of interest. I still think that even if my aunts would have, been the executors, like, they would have really just let my brother and Satan handle it, because Satan had everybody in my family convinced that she's like this smart, business savvy, person. But this woman's never settled an estate, so I don't know why anybody believes her. Whose estate did you settle, Satan? Her dad passed away. I found this out, I don't know, my brother told me back in April, the year that they got married. I don't know if you guys remember the story about my brother coming to my house after 3 months after him and Satan got married. The next day, him and I had a conversation, and that's when he told me that she had borderline personality disorder. And he's like, I had been researching it for weeks. And he started rattling off statistics to me. He was like, 1 in 20 women have it, which is a pretty scary statistic. Which is funny, because I had read that too online. Because I started researching borderline personality disorder, although I don't think that's what she has. Narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, malignant, narcissist, sociopath. Anyway, so he started rattling off these statistics and whatever. And then he started making excuses. And it's funny, whatever he read, I had read the same exact thing. And they were saying that sometimes borderline personality disorder can be confused with PTSD. So my brother starts making this excuse, because I was playing armchair psychologist with him when we were having this conversation, and I was like, tell me, Steven, what is Satan's relationship like with her father? My brother's telling me, she was a daddy's girl, very close with her father, and he died suddenly of a stroke 10 years ago. What about her relationship with her sister? Did they get along? From what I remember last time, you told me that her sister's brother tried to kill her. Is that true? And then he tells me, the sister's husband's very abusive. He kicked the dog, drug user, blah, 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 blah. Let me write that down. Interesting. I think it might be either borderline personality disorder or PTSD. She's a psychopath. Period. I don't even know why I was talking about that. So yeah, her dad passed away, but did she settle a will? No, because usually the spouse who's remaining does that. It's really nothing to do. It's just basically the spouse takes care of everything. As far as I know, her parents were still married. I don't know. Satan's an enigma. She's an enigma wrapped in a mystery, shrouded in whatever. Shit. Shrouded in narcissism. I don't know her past story. It's very confusing and secretive, and it just doesn't make any sense. But she had my whole family convinced that she knew what she was doing. I personally felt at that point in time that even though my aunts were going to be the quote-unquote executors, I felt that they were going to let my brother and Satan really handle everything. My Aunt Debbie works a full-time job. I will give her this. I probably haven't said much positive about her. I'll give her this. My Aunt Debbie is a very, very, very dedicated employee. She has a very good work ethic. Her company loves her. Why, I don't know, but they do. She is a very good worker, but she puts a lot into her job, and she works late every day, and she stays there until like 6, 7 o'clock at night every night. I think she's like I don't know, she's an office manager or something like that. I don't even know exactly what her title is. She's like the office bitch. I just couldn't like see how she was even going to have time to settle my mom's estate. And like I told you guys a million times, Aunt Betty is just completely helpless. I do not see her doing anything relevant for the estate. So I really felt like that this was how things were going to go down, and I ended up being validated in that thought, which I will talk about in an upcoming video. So all right, so I filed a thing, and I'm waiting to just see what's gonna go on now. I get this email from my brother. That email was so manipulative. My brother has a tendency to be a little bit pompous and condescending because he thinks he's the smartest person on the planet. Basically, my brother is a fact memorizer. He's book smart. When it comes to common sense and like street smarts, you are not rivaling me. Sorry to tell you that. I'm very street smart. My brother severely underestimates my intelligence. I did not do as good in school as he did. He's one of those people that like doesn't need to study, yet he got like straight A's. You know, for me, I like struggled through school. I'm very street smart, and one of the best things that I feel like I have is that I have a very good read on people and situations. I guess we could call it intuition. I can kind of see how things are going to turn out, and I'm a critical thinker. I really pick things apart and look into things, and I think very deeply, and I'm very analytical, and in that sense, I do feel like I am smarter than him. Yes, he's very smart. He's way more book smart than I am. I mean, 10 times more book smart, you know? But definitely do not feel like he has the common sense and street smarts that I have, which in a lot of situations in life pay off a little bit more than being book smart. Anyway, so he sends me this email, and I'm just like, dude, it's so manipulative sounding. Like the way he worded it, he just makes me cringe. Why can't you just talk to me like a normal human being? Like he does this condescending, you know, thing where he just tries to use all these big words and sound like he knows what he's talking about. Steven's so smart. Steven's so intelligent. Suck my okay. I saw what he was trying to do there. Basically, with that whole purpose of that email was to try to scare stupid Leanna. Dumb Leanna will just scare her. We'll make her think all these things are happening. They're gonna stop paying the bills. Squatters are gonna come in and destroy the house, and it's gonna blow up, and the car is getting repossessed, and the house is gonna go into foreclosure. All these like worst case scenario things. See, that probably would have worked on me about 5 years ago. That letter might have scared me, but it didn't scare me. It didn't. After I got that letter, I started to look into things. My brother had sent me, if you guys remember, back in December when he thought he was going to be the administrator of my mom's estate. My brother sent me an email where he stated that he was paying all of the bills until an estate account was established, okay? And then he went on to list the bills, which was her car note, HELOC, you know, trying to sound like he's all smart about things. So in my head, he was paying the bills. He told me he was paying the bills. I thought he was paying the bills, right? So I finally started to look into things. Again, I've explained this so many times, but me and my mom were super tight with each other, okay? So I did have her username and password, which she used for almost everything. For instance, my mom had HBO to go. I had her username and password. My mom paid for like Consumer Reports or something like that. One of those sites where they give like reviews of products or something. So I had her password to that. Okay, I knew her Facebook name and password. So I was able to kind of go and check out all this stuff, right? Because all this time, let me back this up for a second. My mom's mail stopped coming to her house. From December when my brother and I had that confrontation all the way till, you know, it's now April. So the last, 3 months, January, February, March. I, of course, was periodically going by my mom's house. You know, I still hung out with Kara and Jeannie across the street. I would just go in there and just kind of check up on the house and make sure everything was okay. Every time I went to my mom's house, I would open the mailbox up and the mail was never there. I didn't know where the mail was going, okay? No bills were coming to the house. And I had no idea where the mail was going. I was pretty much completely in the dark about what was going on with bills and how much my mom owed and all this stuff, because I told you guys, my brother and his wife removed all the paperwork from my mom's house. So I had no idea what was going on. Last I heard, he told me he was paying for everything. After I got that email, I was like, okay, you know what, Leanna, you need to sit down and you need to look into everything, because, you know, you're telling me you're paying her car note. Well, then why is her car about to get repossessed? If you're paying her oil bill, why do we owe them $600? It just wasn't making sense to me. Telling me that you're paying things, but then why is everything in default and all this stuff, okay? At the same time, my brother sent me an email, and this is almost not even worth sharing, but I just got to show you guys how manipulative these assholes are. At the same time my brother sent that email, I don't know why they chose her as the representative, but they chose my Aunt Betty. She decides to send me an email. Very similar to my brother, but it was like, very similar to my brother's email, but it was like the really, really simplified, dumbed down, Cliff Notes, emails for dummies version. So, okay, let me read this one to you guys. She sent it a couple of days after my brother did, I guess because I didn't respond to his. So she wrote to me, Leanna, I'm writing you to assure you that everything is going to be all right. Like, gee, thanks. I'm so glad you're doing this for me. I understand that you have suddenly objected to Aunt Debbie and I being the executors of your mom's will. When you submitted the will, you showed confidence in that our intentions were to carry out her will and wishes. You were right. We loved your mom. Let me just pause there for a second and say that, I don't know how that showed confidence. I just submitted the will. That's what you do when somebody dies and they have a will. So ridiculous. But of course, they got to twist everything and make it about them. Anyway, back to the reading. So she says, you were right. We loved your mom. There isn't anything we wouldn't have done for her while she was here. Really? Like, I don't know, come visit her more often, not fight with her, not treat her like shit. But there wasn't anything you would do. It's just so ridiculous. She loved you both, and it was her will to have us, capital letters, handle her estate. This is our last chance to really do something that matters for her. I'm pretty sure your last chance was like before November 20th of 2016. Nothing that you could do now is going to be for her. It's going to be for me and my brother. She writes, your mom worked so hard for what she had in life. She didn't want to give up work. Even at the very end, she amazed the hell out of me. It's so stupid. She never took the easy way out. Like she thinks she's telling me things about my mom that I didn't already know. She would want to see you both enjoy that hard-earned money. I don't think she would be too keen on necessarily hiring someone to carry out her wishes. Again, I don't know where they're getting this whole me trying to hire somebody. Just know, too, that the people you are looking to hire don't have any love. There's that word again, love, the manipulation. They don't have any love invested, and the end result wouldn't change. Didn't say it was going to. Trust in the loyalty we have to our family. Both Aunt Debbie and I would never treat you unfairly. Really? I guess blocking me on Facebook's, fair to you then. Nor do we have the power to. We will always be connected. Creepy, whether we want to be or not. Just remember, we all have one thing in common. We love your mom very much, and we are all broken-hearted that she has left us. Aunt Betty. This woman's so stupid. Aunt Betty loves to use love as a manipulation tool. We love her. Yet you couldn't write the word love Aunt Betty at the bottom of the email. Nowhere on there does it show any love towards me. You see how she uses my mom to manipulate me? It's so disgusting. There's nothing we wouldn't want to do for our sister. It's our last chance to do something that mattered for our sister. And I want to explain something to you guys, okay? Brother tries to make it in his email like I was trying to fight. Oh, Let me back this up once again. God, this is going to be such a mess. I forgot to mention this. I didn't know right away. I didn't see it. And all of a sudden I get a call from my cousin Nico, and she's like, Liana, oh my God. I'm like, what? Did you see the email that your brother sent? Email that my brother sent? What are you talking about? Oh my God, he sent it to the whole family. Why did he send that to the whole entire family? He blind copied everybody in my family. The only reason I knew this is because her parents got it. She got it. She's the one who figured this out or pointed it out to me. You go to fill out the header for your email, like, you know, who it's to, and then you got BCC, then it has CC, and then it has the subject line, okay? When you CC, which is short for carbon copy, there's CC and then there's BCC. I always wondered what BCC was. I was just like, whatever. So say I'm writing you an email and then I want to send it to 10 other people. When you CC, would see who else I sent it to. When you BCC, the original recipient will not see that it was sent to other people. Blind carbon copy. That's what my brother did, which again, I find very manipulative, because why did you blind copy everybody in the family? Like, when I looked at it, it just looked like it was sent to me. I didn't know that he sent it to everybody else in the family. And he basically sent it to everybody in my family basically to manipulate. That was like his main reason, was to probably get everybody else on my ass. Like, oh, Liana's objecting to the will. How could she do such a thing? She's so horrible. Nobody fucking got involved. I found that really fucked up that he did that. Like, what business is it of my mom's brothers to know what's going on? Like, I don't know. It's so, this is what these people do. This is how manipulators work. I never answered his email, okay? I didn't do anything without talking to my attorney first. So I never answered his email. And I don't remember if it was the same day or the next day or like whatever. I get an email from my Aunt Betty. Why is this asshole reaching out to me? Of all people, why would they have her reach out to me? My Aunt Betty seems to be under the impression that just because she writes something, it means it's true. You guys have shown me absolutely no compassion, no understanding, no concern for the last few months since my mom died. I haven't even heard from you guys. And now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that we're connected forever. So creepy. No, we're not. Blood? Yeah. Maybe on Ancestry.com we're connected. I don't have a connection to you at all anymore. You people are done. You guys are dead to me. I can't believe she thought that was going to like work. See, like when you guys step out of a toxic situation like this and you learn what gaslighting and all that is, and you start to now look at it and go, oh my God, like these people are crazy. Like I can't believe they think I'm gonna fall for this. Like, I'm out of that. I know what you guys are trying to do now at this point, and it's not gonna work. You know, they thought they were going to manipulate me over the love for my mom and, you know, her house and losing all my money and blah, 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 blah. This was not about money for me, okay? Because if it was, I would have just went along with it and let them be the executors. I definitely lost about $20,000 in the process. What it was about carrying out my mom's wishes. And you see how my brother used that against me? He manipulatively used that against me. And that really got me fucking pissed, that they were trying to use my love and loyalty to my mom as a way to manipulate me. You're sick. I really started to wonder if these people were even grieving my mom. I really did. I still can't wrap my mind around these people thinking that any of this was okay.